Hi everyone, I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS and the inventor of the CTKS method and BORSOG trading. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back KS family. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin is currently up 2.16% to 23,755. Ethereum is up 3.53% to 1768. I've left helpful links in the description of this video, such as the links to the Crypto Trading KS Masterclass, the tax software I use, and you can always directly message me on Twitter at any time. To prime our mindset for profitability in the crypto market, we have the CTKS Creed. These are a series of affirmations. I know the universe wants me to succeed. Every day I show kindness, integrity, and gratitude. I know opportunities in life reset daily. I am worthy, I go slow to go fast. I start small and scale with BORSOG. Life pullbacks give me the strength for the next life rally. I am dedicated and committed. I win or learn and never blame. Looking at the major markets, we can see that the VIX, the fear gauge of the stock market, is currently going down, but it's wobbling a little bit just recently. We can see the NASDAQ 100 coming up to a resistance level. It has a key and critical support at 12,847. Just keep that one in mind. We can see bond prices have fallen below a very tight level of support here and turned it to resistance. They're on the way down. That actually indicates money is flowing out of bonds into the stock market. But you can see there's been quite a retracement here, and that could have bypassed a level of resistance. It's very hairline at the moment, but the concept is bond prices are rallying. That means bond yields are falling. And when we look at geopolitical risk as measured through gold, we can see that's increasing. The dollar is not reflecting the safe haven status. It's actually been coming down a little bit. And that's actually a good thing. When gold spikes and the DXY spikes and bond yield spike, that is typically not the best news for the market and of course for Bitcoin. And when we look at oil prices, they're just coming down this particular resistance line at the moment. Keep in mind junk bonds. Junk bonds can signify, and you can look at this blue line, that is Bitcoin's price action, and look at junk bonds, kind of mirroring that. But we can see that the NASDAQ gets more power from junk bonds than does Bitcoin. And we know we need to look at these factors because Bitcoin cannot escape the stock market's gravity. Let's have a look at the major market indexes. Yesterday, we saw that the NASDAQ 100 was about 2% away from its resistance line. It actually got close to this resistance. It came up to just be 0.32% away, but the sellers stepped in. Now the NASDAQ is currently about 1.92% away from its resistance. We'll check out where it is tomorrow. The S&P 500 was about 5.83% away from resistance. We can see the S&P 500 is about 5.55% away from its resistance at the moment. The Dow Jones is 1.12% away from its initial resistance. It has a higher level of resistance up here at around 2.35%. And the Russell 2000, look at Russell, it just went for it. Good on you, Russell. Yesterday, we were about 0.46% away from resistance. The Russell 2000 broke through that resistance. We can see that the Russell is 0.89% above support. We can see that flights over Taiwan and China are still continuing. Why are we looking at this? It's because crypto and Bitcoin are influenced by world events, as we saw when Russia invaded Ukraine, so we're just keeping an eye on things. And when we look at flight radar over Ukraine, you can see there are no airplanes flying at the moment, no civilian aircraft. And why is this important? Because China said that it would end its military drills around Taiwan on Sunday. It's extending them. Geopolitical risk can alter market dynamics. We need this background to understand crypto and how the crypto market is influenced. And what we can see at the current time, we formed a local high at 43. There was a big surge up in the last trading session. Look at that. Bitcoin absolutely went parabolic, and it took a lot of people by surprise. It's good to keep in mind that the markets globally have been rallying for about 54 days. And masterclass students, you get my live chart here and a deeper explanation of this in LV19. The fact that the rally has been going on for 54 days would make a lot of people think it's just going to keep on going on forever. But we always need to remember rule 4. Price moves in waves. It goes up and comes down, goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down, or maybe it just keeps on going. But the key is, what do the probabilities tell us? That's why we need to stack all of these probabilities. And of course, you need an ANF strategy because of rule 359, be on the right side of the percentage. Because global markets are heading towards a deep resistance line globally, a lot of people are deciding to go towards cash. For example, what if the trade goes against you? That is, that it rallies. What will you do? This is a really important thing. We think about what will go against us first. What happens if it goes nowhere? That means that Bitcoin and the major indexes just consolidate horizontally. Or what if it goes for you? And in this case, we would be expecting a retracement of major indices. But don't forget that the stock market can take days to play out. It's not like crypto. Crypto happens in a heartbeat. The stock markets are like watching grass grow. Smart money always has three-dimensional decision making, and you are smart money because that's what our community is all about. We think, what happens in the various scenarios, and we have a strategy to deal with each of them, not just for a specific trade, but for our entire portfolio as a whole. One thing that could be good to keep in mind when we look at the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, the current value is 30. And what do we notice about this particular line here? This is on the daily. So we've actually seen that optimism is starting to fall below this particular line. What are past examples of where fear has fallen below a particular line which is drawn from the bottom to the first real pullback? From the bottom to the first real pullback, to the bottom to the first real pullback. What actually happens? Well, we can observe that price came down. For example, consolidated a bit. What about this particular one, where price, fear, just was leaving the market? Optimism was leaving the market, fear was coming into the market. We saw prices go down for a time and then rally up. What about this one? What did we see? As fear was increasing in the market, optimism was falling. What did we see around here? We saw prices come down. Please let me know in the comments, what do you think is actually going to happen with the level of fear inside the crypto market? Do you think it's going up or going down? With the major indices coming into resistance globally, we have to keep an eye on what happens to Bitcoin. Does Bitcoin get dragged down with the Nasdaq and the S&P 500, the Dow, the Russell? Or do the Dow, the Russell, the S&P 500 and Nasdaq actually rally up? This is why we need our ANF. If you're sitting in cash at the moment, you need to make this decision. It's basically like, okay, if price goes with the Nasdaq, for example, and we see a bit of a reduction here, let's just zoom in on this and just give you an idea, an understanding. You can see the Nasdaq shot up. What happened to Bitcoin? The Nasdaq actually pulled Bitcoin up with it. And when it tanked down, what happened to Bitcoin? This is as of right now. These are the Nasdaq futures. So we can see that there's a very strong, close correlation directionally between what the Nasdaq does and what Bitcoin does. So what happened here? Is this a strong correlation? Let's just zoom in here and have a look. What happened here? We can see a bit of an inverse correlation in this particular zone. So it doesn't always necessarily follow that Bitcoin will absolutely ping on what the Nasdaq does. But did it ping here? For example, it was going up. Did it go up? It started to turn around and then went up. When the Nasdaq came down and then shot down, what happened to Bitcoin? It continued up a little bit more and then it shot down, recovered. So what you can see from this, it's not 100% of the time that NASDAQ will go up and cause Bitcoin to go up as well. It's the indicator concept. If you're basically in your car or your motorbike or whatever you're in, and you've got, say, the left indicator on, and there is a car in front of you, vehicles in front of you, your indicators will coincide and they'll phase and dephase. This is what markets do all the time. But when we zoom back and have a look, how close is the association? Is there an association? Well, you would say, yeah, pretty much so. Because what is happening as Bitcoin actually moves, NASDAQ is shadowing it. Now, does this mean that they can't diverge? Of course they can diverge. Bitcoin is really good at recovering. It's a very risk-on asset. If money is piling back into the stock market, you can be assured that Bitcoin is going to shine, and it will shine first. What about the longs and the shorts? What we can see, the shorts have been coming out of the market, and how they've really been coming out of the market, and the longs coming into the market. Each and every time the shorts have said, okay, I'm going all in and more, the longs have just crushed them, and this has happened time and time again. There was a lot of short liquidations during this particular ramp up. And we've had some fairly decent volume. In terms of liquidations, 185.53 million across 58,091 positions. In the past 24 hours, total liquidations, 73% approximately were short liquidations. What about the past 12 hours? About 51% long went the other way. What about the past 4 hours? 69% long. What about the past hour? It's gone the other way. 70% long. The longs and the shorts are always whacking each other. It's like the mafia. Let's have a look at what we actually see on a daily basis. The shorts were absolutely hammered, and this is associated with this upward price movement. The major question today is, can Bitcoin withstand the stock market's gravity? For example, if the stock markets, the US markets, all retrace, can Bitcoin withstand that? Because we know if Bitcoin rallies, we know all of the crypto space will rally. But if Bitcoin succumbs to the resistance that's playing out in the US markets and we see a reversal, let's have a look at this particular area. You can see Bitcoin coming down in price. What happened to Ethereum? It came down also. The blue line is Bitcoin, and if you're new to the community, a very, very warm welcome to you. And you might like to just reach out and say hi in your comments. We'd love to hear from you. And look at Binance Coin coming down with Bitcoin. Just notice how Bitcoin's gravity, alts can't escape it. You can see it overlaying very, very strongly. And sometimes you can get diversions from it, but they're generally quite short-lived, so it's important to understand. And when there is a divergence here, usually there's a synchronization that follows, so keep that in mind also. And when we look at Doge coming down with Bitcoin, what about this? Bitcoin came down, DOT came down. Bitcoin came down, Solana came down. So this is what we have to bear in mind, but it also works in reverse. So for example, if Bitcoin comes up, Ethereum will go up. If XRP is going up, it's probably because that Bitcoin is going up. What about Binance Coin? If Bitcoin comes up, Binance Coin can't escape that gravity either. So we're at a bit of a crossroad here. If Bitcoin manages to break up and do well, it will pull the entire crypto space with it. And if Bitcoin goes down with the alignment to the US markets, of course that will have the inverse effect. That's why it's really important to have your ANF strategy just there waiting to be actioned at all times. Please let me know in the comments, what do you think is going to happen? Active learning is a very, very big part of our community. I'd like to thank Peter for his very kind comment. It's certainly challenging out there right now, Ken. Thanks for always bringing us timely information forward like nobody else can. Thank you, Peter. Very kind of you. And Johnny, you're giving information that probably most traders do not think about or actually know of. Let's be prepared for anything that might happen. The risk to reward is not great at the moment. Thanks, Johnny. Thank you everyone for your comments. It's really beautiful to read the comments each and every day. It's just wonderful. You're wonderful people. We spoke a little bit about being kind to yourself, and Jay said, being kind to yourself really is some of the best advice, especially in times of confusion and inner turmoil. Thank you, Jay. Absolutely. Being kind is part of the positive excellence that we live by as a community. If you find yourself missing a trade or missing the top or missing the bottom or any of those things, I would just suggest that you BORSOG. And BORSOG is just buying with coffee money and just getting used to the market synchronization, getting into the timing of the market. You will go through all the same emotions, and that's why it's so great to do it. It will teach you so much. Buy on red, sell on green, rule 621. That's where the word BORSOG comes from. It comes from rule 621. Buy on red, sell on green. But of course, like all things, you need skill to do it. And the knowledge is inside the masterclass. Rule 141 is also really important. Go slow to go fast. When you're walking up this knowledge staircase, each step, next step, is being built on the video that you're currently watching inside the masterclass. Please go slow to go fast. The global crypto market cap is currently 1.12 trillion, up 2.52% in the past 24 hours. The greatest gainers in the past 24 hours, Celsius up 25.57%, the graph 16% up, Flow nearly 15.5%, ZEC nearly 10%, NEAR 9.6% up, and Convex CVX 7.3% up. Looking towards the greatest losers, we see Decred out leading the back of the pack, down 4.43%, LDO down about 3%, Theta down 2.34%, Leo down around 2.14%, Loopring down 1.42%, and Kusama down 1.12%. As a global family, we focus on positive excellence and maintaining real wealth foundations. Investing and trading is a profession just like medicine, just like accounting, finance, computer science, engineering. All of those disciplines take time. If we're focused on money, we're not focused on doing the best possible job we can and being the best possible person we can be as well. And that's why we focus on positive excellence. Going slow is the best way to go fast. And many people over the years have said, no, Ken, going fast is great, but it's not. All you'll do is make errors. When you go slow and just build step by step, you'll get there, and you'll get there faster than others. I thought today in the comments we could talk about learning and humility. We haven't talked much about these two things, but I think they're really important. And I would like to leave you with a little quote. Patience is learning and humility in action. A lot of people think that patience is some passive thing that people do. After all, they're being very patient. They're just waiting. No, it's an active thing. Activity of learning and humility. And it's also about getting rid of the emotional roller coaster. Smart money doesn't get caught up in retail emotions, and that is a roller coaster. It's very stressful. You don't want to be there. Smart money is professional. They know what they're doing. Smart money are unemotional because they have the knowledge and they've put in the hard work. They've put in the dedication, the patience. They've applied the rules. They understand correlations. They know so many things. And smart money has moved out of panic zone, zone 1, and zone 2, the blame zone, into zone 3 and zone 4. They think differently. And you might notice zone 3 is the patience and rule zone. So talking about patience is really important. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Please also let me know in the comments, where do you think 0.44 will be? Bitcoin is currently trading at 23,827. Do you think we'll come up to C or D, or go down to, for example, B or A or 1 or something? Please let me know. One thing that may also assist, we've got a resistance level above the current price. coming into play at about 24,350 and another one up here at around 25,000. Just bear those 2 points in mind. We also have support at 23,372 and another one at 23,269. So there is some support below the current price. But I guess really what it's going to come down to is how Bitcoin's gravity is impacted by the major markets, for example, the Nasdaq. What you might like to do is to keep your eye on this support line, this quite thick support line, and it will come into play at around 23,340. If we get prices coming down to here, for example, if we have negative price momentum and it takes it down to that level and we see price just inching across the support line, that is actually a really healthy thing. But if we see this support line cut and price dropping, I think we have our answer. If we see the price just keeps on going and forms another support line through here and keeps on going up, we have another answer. You have to always keep in mind the price can do one of three things. It can go up, down, or sideways. That's what ANF is all about. We don't close off any particular scenario because what we want to do is that we want to move with the market's momentum. The market goes in the way the market goes. We go with the market, so we don't overlay any of our biases or prejudices on that. We just say we're going with actual price action. And whilst doing this, we make sure that we understand and stack the probabilities. What are the main markets doing? What's geopolitical risk doing? What's the dollar doing? What's gold, oil, inflation? You name it, we have an angle on it. I very much look forward to your comments, and I just want to say a big thank you to our beloved global family. Thank you so much for tuning in. I've loved sharing this time together. Please consider sharing and liking this video and also subscribing to the channel. We would love to have you as a part of our globally extended KS family. Thank you very much to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers, and to the CTKS ambassadors for assisting masterclass students. And of course, a very big thank you to you for watching and for being part of our global family. I've left helpful links in the description of this video, such as the tax software I use and the Crypto Trading KS Masterclass. Please seek out an ambassador to get 80% off. And if you're in financial hardship, there's also a link to a partial scholarship. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now. And if you're still here, please let me know what community alts you would like to see. I'm going to bring that back. We have a limited number of spots, 8 to be exact. Have a great one ahead and see you soon.